Thank you so much for joining in. It's Sunday morning, and we do understand how difficult it is, but thank you so much for joining in. And Dr. Seema will be joining us soon. And this is the live we started last week, 11:30 to 12. Ask us anything. Those who have any questions, you can still post in the Google form. I'll start to pick questions from the Google form. Let me see what all questions we have. Okay, so the very first question we have is maybe for Dr. Seema. Let her join. I'll take that question. We can take that question then. And the second question is, it's on Japinder ma'am. Sometimes I get distracted from my work. Why does it happen? So for distraction, I would say there are three main reasons for distraction. अगर आप कुछ भी करते करते distract हो रहे हो. So very first reason is lack of clarity और prioritization. जब हमें सारी चीजें ही important और urgent लग रही होती हैं and we are not clear what we need to prioritize. Okay, that is the very first reason why we get distracted. And second is environmental triggers, right? कई बार हमारे surroundings play a huge role in pulling your focus. And third is mental fatigue or lack of breaks. I'll quickly tell you what all happens in this. The first one, which I talked about, is lack of clarity or prioritization. होता क्या है when your task feels overwhelming या unclear and तो हमें क्या होता है, हमारा ब्रेन एस्केप रूट ढूंढने लग जाता है, राइट? सो देयर कम्स डिस्ट्रैक्शन. अब मैं कुछ करना चाह रही हूँ, मुझे लग रहा है वो गॉड, ये तो इतना सारा काम है, इतना सारा काम है, और ना मैं वो शुरू कर रही हूँ, ना ही मुझे क्लैरिटी की कौन सी चीज मैं पहले करूँ विच विल गिव मी अ ह्यूज आई मीन अगर इसको इफेक्टिवली कर लिया तो रेस्ट ऑल थिंग्स विल बी इजी. सो हैविंग क्लैरिटी would really help. How you can start to have that is start your day by identifying 3 key tasks you must complete. So that way you are very clear, आज के दिन में ये 3 मुझे खत्म करनी है, तो less chances you will get distracted because now you are clear what are my high impact activities for the day, right? And that is one thing. और जब आपकी 3 identify हो गई हैं, like I have discussed this lot in my time management boot camp, तो जब आपकी 3 identify हो गई, then you can break down smaller actionable steps, right? So this will help you. Another environmental triggers, which I said, this is the second reason. क्योंकि कई बार होता है आपके environment जो surroundings होती हैं, those are not, they are like if you're sitting somewhere और आपका desk पूरा cluttered है और आप कुछ करने लगोगे तो आपको दिखेगा अरे ये भी यहाँ पड़ा है, अरे ये भी. So there will be, your environment is not supporting you, right, to be distraction free. कांस्टेंट नोटिफिकेशन, आपने फोन पास में रखा हुआ और आप कुछ अपना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट काम करो, सो दैट इज अ बिगेस्ट डिस्ट्रैक्शन. देन इफ यू आर वर्किंग समथिंग एंड देयर इज अ बैकग्राउंड नॉइज, यू कैन इजीली ड्रेल योर कॉन्सेंट्रेशंस. तो दिस इज अगेन कि आपका एनवायरनमेंट क्या सपोर्टिव है आपको वॉट एवर यू वॉन्ट टू फोकस ऑन. सो हेयर द हैक वुड बी, यू कैन क्रिएट अ डेडिकेटेड, अगर इफ इट्स लाइक अगर आप सबसे पहले तो आप अपने आप से पूछिए कि आप किस चीज में डिस्ट्रैक्ट होते हैं. अवेयरनेस, आइडेंटिफाइंग व्हाट आर योर ट्रिगर्स. एंड देन अगर आप वर्क जब आप काम कर रहे हो अगर तब ज्यादा डिस्ट्रैक्ट होते हो, ट्राई टू हैव अ डेडिकेटेड वर्क स्पेस, राइट, विच इज क्लीन एंड फ्री फ्रॉम ऑल द थिंग्स विच डिस्ट्रैक्ट्स यू. दिस विल हाईली हेल्प यू टू बी वेरी एफिशिएंट एंड प्रोडक्टिव. And one is phone, जो हम सबके पास है, and we all are facing it. So please off your notifications when you are working. Mindfully off the notifications. दिन में भी आप उन notifications को 1 घंटा ऑन रखिए, उसके बाद ऑफ रखिए. Because I do it myself, like I keep the notification. There are certain sets in a day, certain times in a day when I check all the notification and I keep off. And जो भी मेरे important groups हैं, I ping them on the top, तो वो मुझे पता है कि इनकी notification check करनी. So that is how you do. Third is mental fatigue or lack of breaks. This is one of the biggest reason I tell you. हम लोग लगातार काम करते जाते हैं, but there is a capacity of your brain to focus, right? You can't stretch, and that's the reason, biggest reason. जब हमारे स्कूल के जो हमारे क्लासेस के जब पढ़ते भी थे तो स्कूल में पीरियड्स क्यों 40 मिनट्स के या 30 मिनट्स के थे होते. There is a focus, there's a capacity of your brain to stretch. तो उसके आगे नहीं कर पाएगा वो. So what you have to do is, अगर आप 25 minutes काम कर रहे हो, take a 5 stretch break. I'll give you a quick hack, right? This will not only help you to do it, we can do it right away. What you have to do is you just, आपको 50 minutes काम करते हो गए, I take it a 50 minutes which I do every hour. and this works wonders, guys. 50 minutes हो गए, alarm लगा लो कि 50 minutes के बाद I have to do this 2 minutes thing with, and this will also help not only this physical world, ये आपको spiritual connection में भी बहुत help करती है, because what we do is you stretch जैसे भी आपको करना, आप अपनी neck stretch कर सकते हो, आप अपने shoulder stretch कर सकते हो, आप अपनी arms को stretch कर सकते हो, stretches for say 30 seconds, then be still. Still means nothing moving in your body. Be still, focus on your breath. And when you focus on your breath and you're still, you'll see आपका कोई thought नहीं आ रहा. And the moment the first thought comes, open your eyes. This will work wonders. Stretch करो, उसके बाद 30 seconds बिल्कुल still in your body, बिल्कुल still. And the moment the first thought comes, start. This will help you to focus, being efficient, being more productive, being in the moment of stillness. And you do this, कोई meditation की जरूरत नहीं, I tell you. But to bring it into habit takes efforts. So if you'll do this, you'll see, जैसे वो कहते हैं ना, मैनिफेस्ट करना, आपको भगवान से डाउनलोड आना, स्पिरिचुअल वो चीज आना, एवरीथिंग विल स्टार्ट टू कम इन, बिकॉज आप क्या कर रहे हो, आप मूवमेंट कर रहे हो, आप स्टिल कर रहे हो, आप मूव कर रहे हो, आप स्टिल कर रहे हो, एंड दैट स्टिलनेस ऑफ 10-30 सेकेंड वर्क्स वंडर्स. सो ट्राई दिस विल रियली हेल्प यू टू enhance your, be distraction free. So I hope, and thank you for putting this beautiful question. Thank you so much for asking. So we have Dr. Seema with us now. So good morning, Dr. Seema. So the next question, yeah, I can unmute him. Yes. Hanji, Dr. Seema, so shall I read out the question which is there for you?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So it's Seema ma'am, I don't have proper periods. It's only for 1 to 2 days with less flow and my weight is increased.
And how old is the little one?
Little one is 7 years, going to be 7 years old by February 18th.
Okay. So have you got your thyroid tested recently?
Yeah.
And that is normal.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I think, see, the reason for scanty flow during periods is the weight gain itself. So what you need to do is work on your weight management. So we only have to check that how much weight have you gained over last 6 months or 1 year? How much weight have you gained?
Near about 5 kgs, 5 to 6 kgs.
5 kgs. So that is all you need to target. So what was your standard weight overall? How much have you weighed throughout your life so far? Like, what is the standard weight? 60, 65?
Near 60, 63, 64.
63, 64. So currently you are 68, 69?
Yes, ma'am.
So you set a target and let's start with baby steps. Let's start with mindful eating and maybe 20 minutes of exercise daily. So all you need to do is target
and can
that
be
much.
the reason, can be the reason ki if I do the hair wash on the first day, because one of the doctor was saying ki do not hair wash during that day on the first day.
No. That is all superstitious. It does not have any scientific, background. So all we need to do is probably go back on our standard weight. And once you reduce your weight, your hormones will come back into balance. Because whenever we add on extra weight to our body, your hormones go a little out of balance and your periods flow, they start becoming lesser and lesser. So less flow should not actually be a cause for concern. It doesn't need any medical treatment unless you want to plan a next baby. If you don't want to plan a next baby, then the amount of flow does not matter. Only your cycle should be regular. It may be for a day or two. The number of pads, the amount of flow really doesn't matter. But yes, it is a signal of the body in itself that the weight we have added on to our body is disturbing our hormones. And once you start with a regular exercise schedule of at least 20 minutes per day, even 5 days out of a week, it will help you to improve your cycle. So we will need to help you medically. If you start skipping your period by 2 months or 3 months, then of course we will need to help you with the medicines. But short of that, you only target your weight. Once you start going down in your weight, your flow will start improving.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Seema. And as the Ritika is already part of our community, and I know. So, Ritika, one thing I'll suggest here is also take a, check on your stress levels. Because more you constantly into the stress, it will not let you to lose the weight also. All these things are interlinked actually, right? So
Okay.
keeping your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, all health, right? अगर कहीं से भी कुछ बिगड़ता है तो your body is a good indicator to tell there is something to work upon. So that would be one another thing to it.
ठीक है मैम.
Okay. And then we have, there's a question that how do, Japinder ma'am, you help parents to be emotionally intelligent, and what all do you offer in the inner parenting programs? Okay, very beautiful question, because many of you know कि inner parenting का कुछ ना कुछ group में आता रहता है, but there is no, I mean, there is no such means wherein I tell you what I do. Basically, I help mothers, parents, and the children related to behavior. So how everything is planned is the mothers who are working women and they think that they don't have time, but they're struggling with any kind of the child behavior. We ran a poll and we came out with 7 top behaviors with mothers are struggling. And the poll were run in all the Blessed Mom groups and the Star Mom community of mine. And we came up with 7 behaviors on which we have created I did it live, but now it's on request, and a lot of mothers reach out कि हम working है Japinder, so we are not able to do. So those are in the recorded format that is dealing with 7 child behavior, including tantrum, mealtime issues, screen time battles, separation anxieties, and top 7 behaviors basically. So that is one thing. The very first, that is fast track child bundle, wherein you can enroll and you can do it at your own pace depending on which behavior you are struggling with your child. Okay, that is the mothers who only think कि मेरे को बच्चे पे काम करना है. Now the mothers who really want to work on holistic thing of parenting, like self. Okay, so working on the self power, working on the self emotional regulation, working on addressing their own stress, anxieties, fear, guilt, regrets, and all those stuff. For them, there is a program that's a gold lifetime membership, in which again there is a pre-recorded do it yourself. All my modules are recorded, short 10 minutes videos. Self connection part I cover, then I cover child connection, and then there's a relationship, because that is all the 3 pillars of being a happy and emotionally happy family basically. Okay, and then there is another this is a gold pro which I'm launching the first batch on 2nd of January, wherein I'll be hand holding mothers, my own self personally, live taking through it's do with me. Those will be 12 live sessions with me, 3 months, right? And then followed by 1 month a leadership call with me. So, and then there comes a one-to-one. A lot of people come, ki Japinder, we don't want to go into group setting. We want to work one-on-one with you. So if people think that there is something personal things which we want to discuss one-on-one, so that's another. So there are 4 level of, different programs which we have in inner parenting. In case you want to reach out to us, you have our number. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Kritika for any further details. Okay. So before I pick the question from the Google form, anybody who's here, like Neha, if you have any question, you can ask us. You can ask us live. If there is any question, you can put it in the chat box. We would be happy to answer that. Thank you, Neha, for posting. Thank you if you're not having any questions. So, yes, Dr. Seema, would you like to touch upon any of the topic? Which you
Not
want,
as of now. Maybe you can take another question. Meanwhile, if I have any comment, then I'll make that.
Sure. So recently we did this, and that was a question in this recent screen time struggles, the masterclass we did, So there was one basic thing which the mothers who attended, very good. Those who missed on, maybe you'll be watching this recording. This is an information, basic thing which I want every mother to understand for the screen time thing is understand the difference between life of a kid and the screen time. There is no right, no wrong. Okay, it's what the only question you have to ask yourself is, first thing is, अगर हम 70s 80s में हम born हुए हैं, so there is a massive evolution of technology in past 15-20 years. And no matter how much you try, because अगर आप सोचोगे कि हम अपने हमारे पेरेंट्स ने ये चैलेंज फेस नहीं किया, इवन द शिफ्ट हैज कम सो क्विकली कि हम भी अभी उसको समझ रहे हैं. एंड अनदर थिंग, वी कांट वी कांट बी सो अनरियलिस्टिक. हमें वी हैव टू एक्सेप्ट द रियलिटी. आवर किड्स आर born in this era. We can't devoid them of this technology, but we have to teach them how to use it mindfully. अगर हम आज ये मीटिंग कर पा रहे हैं तो भी जूम अवेलेबल है तो ही कर पा रहे हैं, अदरवाइज वी वुड हैव नॉट बीन. हम सब अपने घर पे बैठ के नहीं कर पाते. एंड दिस इज माइंडफुल यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ द थिंग्स यू हैव इन हैंड. Okay, so that was one thing. Another thing which I want is just look at it. When I look at screen time, the only question I have to answer, and I help mother, is to ask yourself, how can I make screen time work for my family? And if the current screen time things are not working in my family, how can I bring the shift? And the only reason why you have to think about it is, let's see how the life of a child is. बच्चे की life कैसी है? And I mean, basically, why does that matter? Now think about screen time is all the gratification, none of the effort. राइट? सारा ग्रेटिफिकेशन आ रहा है, कोई एफर्ट नहीं डालना पड़ रहा. बिग गैप, राइट? एंड हाउ आई सी इट इज, द लाइफ ऑफ अ किड इज मेसी. मेकिंग फ्रेंड्स इज ट्रिकी. बिल्डिंग विद ब्लॉक्स इन्वॉल्व्स फेलियर. बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक बन रहा है, बनता बनता गिर सकता है. डूइंग पजल्स, learning to write, learning to read, all these tasks require handling frustration and handling struggles, right? They all require putting ton of efforts. And not only do they require ton of efforts, they require active engagement, persistent, and tolerating very delayed kind of, कभी कभी result आएगा, कभी कभी नहीं. वो टावर यहाँ तक बना, एकदम से लास्ट ब्लॉक बिगड़ा, सारा टावर नीचे गिर गया, right? So unexpected gratification, you don't know when that moment will come, right? And success happens sometimes, and then that too after a lot of sustained hard work or actively working on it. So that's the life of a kid. Now, okay, now let's think about screen times. Screen times is completely opposite. This is why we love it, na? I can just sink down. I can enter into place of kind of mindlessness, and all the gratification just comes to me. एक finger ही तो scroll करना है, and I am actually the recipient of a consistent enjoyment and gratification. मेरे को फटाफट मिल रहा है instead of active creating, right? I'm not the active creator of inconsistent enjoyment. Here I'm the passive consumer, ना? मैं तो बस ऐसे ऐसे करती जा रही हूँ, अपने आप आता जा रहा है. This is a huge gap between, most part of life for a kid and the screen time. Right? यहाँ पे हम we are passive recipient हैं, passive kind of gratification. Rest of my life, what I have to do is, I have to be an active creator. And it's no wonder we all like screen time so much. But what I think in long term is, because that always a perspective I have with kids is that as we get older, right? हम भी old हो रहे हैं, our kids get older. Life requires all of the things that screen time takes away, right? Life involves mess, trickiness, failures, efforts, not getting success, and putting more efforts, still not getting success, putting more efforts. So when our kids are young, screen time to me, I think especially mindfully, because when our kids are young, they are building circuits of expectations. They are answering all the questions in their mind. Okay, how does life happen? What do I expect? Right? How does enjoyment happen? How does gratification happen? Do all these things come to me, or do I need to work? All these circuits are getting built in the young ones, right? So that's why it's very, very important to use it mindfully. We can't avoid it. I'm completely against of this thing ki bilkul band kar do, because I have a lot of parents struggling who have completely devoid kids of screen, and now there is a different set of challenge they are facing, right? So I just want to understand this gap ki kar kya rahi hai, because this will help you why I want to work on the screen time. It's not bad, it's not that, but you just have to understand, you have to ground yourself in the why. I hope this helps you to understand why we are doing what we are doing, right? And one more thing I want to tell, सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि screen time is the only thing which is impacting our kids circuitry. No, there are a lot of other things, right, which impact the circuit. Screen time is just one of them. Does that mean my kids doesn't get screen time? No, I'm not rigid about that. My kids do get screen time, they do get iPad, they do all those things. It's just mean that The principle which I'm talking about is something like screen देना भी है, but we have to come onto the margin of something, and I have to have a healthy boundaries, and I also have to validate the feelings of my child. So that is what my take is on screen time. And if you feel like you can, go to this child behavior which I covered, there's a lot I've covered on screen time, which will help you literally to work and have a different perspective altogether. Because the mission, what we want to do here is we want to prepare our children for the social media. We are going to enter the generation beta, right? Gen X, Alpha, now is the generation of beta. Beta means अब तो robots ही बात करेंगे, right? And robots don't have that जो भगवान ने यहाँ humans को दिया है ना, to have that emotions, to have that connections, and this will lead to a lot of stress, depression, anxieties. So we can choose, either we can mindfully learn to address, to express, to accept, understand, guide ourselves, to accept, understand, guide our children, right? And give them what they need. And that's wherein parenting, learning about parenting, all those things are coming into picture. Because जो आने वाली generation है वो totally different है. You won't be able to do how it is happening, how it is supposed to be. जो पहले चल रहा था, it's not they were wrong, or they were not wrong. They did what they knew better. But now the things are shifting, so it's very, very, very much important क्योंकि हम आधे से ज़्यादा 70% of the women are themselves in stress and depression. They are putting all their emotions under the rug, and sometimes फिर एक ऐसी moment आती है जहाँ पे life की वाह, then फटता है volcano. पूरी उम्र मैंने ये किया और मुझे क्या मिला? So that's where a lot of women come. So it's very, very important from the very young age of your child, give them the emotional regulation. They are asking for you. They are looking at you. Please help me how to manage my anger, how to, accept your no, what to do, how to do. So I hope that will add a lot of value. And if you come, you want to connect with us, you can always connect with us. And this is a community of where there is no judgment, no criticism, because many of us are not expressing just because society will label me. Society will label me as either bad parent, इससे कुछ नहीं संभलता है, इससे कुछ नहीं होता है, मैं जब भी कुछ करती हूँ गलत करती हूँ, and all those stuff. Guys, leave them. Come, express, get the help. And it's not only you, it has a ripple effect on your entire family. It has a ripple effect on entire family. Understand that. If you are someone जिसको ऐसा लगता है कि पूरे घर में मेरी कोई नहीं सुन रहा, nobody respects me, nobody cares about me, nobody values me, there is no, and you are again into the pattern where there are always conflicts in the home. Always there are conflicts. You're not even sitting for 5 minutes with each other and you are avoiding. Guys, avoiding is an escape. It's an escape. And many of the women, I tell you, come to me saying that, Japinder, separation. I tell you, separation is an escape. Until unless you are into a domestic violence wala kind of relationship, that's altogether a different dimension. But I tell you, don't reach so quickly. You are two different people. You are just the matter of you're not understanding little bit of basics there. I'm not saying we all are, I mean, her relationship वैसा काम करेगा, but give it a chance, learn, think. I mean, don't just go to that conclusive part of separation. I tell you one more bulb on here. आप separation कर लोगे, आप दूसरे relation में end up करोगे. If you are not worked on yourself, you will again attract the same kind of person. Because every person in your life is there to teach you a lesson, teach you to make you the person God wants you to be. We all have disguised angels in our life. Bless them. जो आपको कहता है ना जपिंदर आज तेरी हेल्प नहीं करूंगा, bless them, God bless them, because उन्होंने मुझे मना किया तो I was able to know how capable I was to do it. Take them as a fuel to launch your rocket. उन्होंने मना किया तब आपको पता लगा कि अपने आप कैसे करना है. And if you're in a very ज्यादा प्रोटेक्टिव वाली स्पेस में जहां पे पापा भी बोलते नहीं बेटा तू रहने दे, भाई भी बोलते नहीं तू रहने दे, सब लोग बोलते तू रहने दे, actually they are coming from love and affection, but they are not helping you to grow. कभी कभी उनकी हेल्प लेना, खुद भी मना करके देखो, because you need to work on that self, your own self. So don't cry, don't put your things under rug. Come and speak about it. We all have that. I also have that. Dr. Seema also have that. Dr. Rama also have that. Ritika has, Kritika has, all the people who are, हम सबकी लाइफ में कुछ ना कुछ चल रहा है. It's not that we are smiling here तो सब पीछे अच्छे से चल रहा है. नहीं, but we have learned how to dance in the storm. That's it. And still learning. Every day is a learning. Every day, every second is a learning. मुझे सब पता है syndrome, please drop it. Knowing आजकल के एरा में knowing is not an issue. Google, YouTube, हमारे बच्चों को कुछ पढ़ना लिखने सीखने में कोई इशू नहीं आएगा. They will simply put it in the search. They can learn any subject. Any subject. But this emotionally expressing, accepting your feelings, communicating in a way where people listen to you, becoming a personality where if I say something, I mean it, else I don't say it, right? Is one of the key thing to learn and work upon. And this is the investment I tell you, जो आपसे कोई नहीं ले सकता, because that is at soul level. घर ले जाओ, गाड़ी ले जाओ, बंगला ले जाओ, सब ले जाओ, यहाँ से कैसे लेके जाओगे? Nobody can steal this thing from you. Understand that. Don't hesitate to invest in yourself. Start investing today so that 2025 is a very different year for you altogether. We as a team here can only, tell you what all is available, but taking that first step to reach out us is definitely needed from your end, guys. Come forward, mothers. There's a lot to share. जो लोग बाहर से खुश दिख रहे हैं, हम सब खुश नहीं हैं. Get into the core of your, happiness. Yesterday, there was one thing which I wrote कि पूरे साल में एक concert attend करना, because my children are so young. Yesterday, I attended the concert of AP Dillo. किसी को पता हो तो यहाँ चंडीगढ़ में था. And it was like I was immersed in that moment and I was feeling like जितना भी वो negative physical मेरी body में वो negative चीजें थी ना, I've shed them. I danced like anything. Why? Because मेरी physical body भी वो negative energies, negative experience को hold करके रखती है. And when I dance, I lose it. I release it. Start doing this. Come forward, come to these lives. Ask your question, put it in the Google form. This is a platform for you guys. Come forward. I think I've spoken enough अभी. बहुत हो गया जपिंदर, अभी बस करो. Right, so see, Dr. Rama is smiling so beautifully. Dr. Rama, you're on mute if you're saying something. You're on mute.
मिसेस रमा, आप अनम्यूट करो, अपने माइक पे एक बारी टच करो, अनम्यूट होएगा, आपका म्यूट है. Japinder, can you unmute her?
I'll do, but it is a setting on, I'll ask her to
Ma'am's
unmute,
mic.
but she has to click.
हाँ, मिसेस रमा, आप अपने माइक पे क्लिक करो, फिर आप अनम्यूट होगे, हम सुन नहीं पा रहे.
But
नहीं कर पा रहे हम. मैम को नेक्स्ट टाइम अनम्यूट करके उनका मैसेज ले पाएंगे.
exactly. वो कुछ कह रहे. Just click on, आप फोन पे एक बार क्लिक करो, वहां पे वो सारे बटन्स ऊपर आ जाएंगे. उनका वीडियो में ऑफ.
बेस पे आपके लेफ्ट कॉर्नर में आएगा आपका आइकॉन, माइक का और वीडियो वाला उसके साथ ही है.
We have Purvi now joining in. So we are not able to hear you, but we would
No
definitely
problem.
love to know. We can connect and we can definitely help. Ritika, maybe we can connect with her and, help her out and we
Japinder,
can get the
before we
message.
finish, I think our time is going out. So were we able to share the recording of the last session or no, not yet?
Yes. That was posted on
Acha, maybe
YouTube
I
and link
missed.
was floated. Yeah. Link was, and
Acha,
a lot
so
of
it
people
is on the
watched it.
YouTube also. Acha,
We
okay.
posted it on YouTube to make it, everybody clicked there and there, a lot of mothers watched from there.
So if you don't mind, can you do it on my personal window as well? Then I'll help to put it on my status and maybe more people can also watch it.
Sure.
Okay, हाँ,
Sure.
because
I understand.
sometimes I
Even this
do
one
miss
we
it.
will put like that only. Even this one,
ठीक है,
every time we'll put it like that. So that anybody
correct.
who's not able to attend it and they have posted their question, they will at least get the answer while listening to the, this video. So I think we can wrap that up now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So looking forward to connect next time. So if we have 1 minute. So she's.
So I think if Mrs. Rama is not able to unmute, so I would just conclude by really appreciating the carry home messages, Japinder, you have given us today. And I have taken this one tip from today's session, that people who are not willing to help us, we should take them as our disguised angels. And then we should, I think, dig inside and get that strength and then try to cope up with that challenge. And that will help us to evolve and, grow better. So it is all about our own journey. And in the end, if we become strong, I think rest of the microenvironment is sorted. Everything else is sorted. Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you for taking all these efforts and sparing your time also for our mothers and helping us all to grow better. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Oh,
See you
thank
next
you,
week.
Mrs. Rama. We'll be able to, unmute you next time and get your valuable input. She's a very, very experienced and she's a role model for us all. So she has a lot of
Wow.
pearls of wisdom, but next time we'll get it from her. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so
Sure.
much for joining in. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.